everybody. Welcome back once again. Another edition of Inside the Headset. It's week 11, game 10, the final week of Inside the Headset. We're at our first stop, and I'm on the campus of Rockvale High School. And I'm with the head coach of the Rockvale Rockets, head coach Brian Guthrie. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm good, Storm. I'm good.
Well, let's just get right into it. Last Friday night, I'm looking at Dean Fox's stats and everything. We got a buck 22 left. It's in the fourth quarter. You have scored, and you make a decision that you're going to go for two. You go for two. You don't get it. The score is currently Blackman 22, Rockvale 21 with a buck 22. You got to kick off to them, and you got to have an onside kick. You kick an onside kick, you get that kick, and then the next stat I get is it's 59.4 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Rockvale now 27, Blackman now 22, and that was the final score of the game Friday night. But you promised the kids when they signed up and decided to come out for football, I'll build you a memory and you'll have a good time. And if you work hard, there'll be some good things happen to you. Couldn't have written it any better, could you, Coach?
No, I told our quarterback, Brendan Mayhew, I said, this is one you're going to remember for a long time, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, we just felt like our defense was playing really, really well.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
And,
they played really well.
So,
they kept you in the game.
Yeah.
They really did.
And we weren't playing great on offense, so we felt like, if we could go for two right there and go ahead and go up, then our defense would get a stop and we'd be in good shape.
You got to start thinking, too, what are my chances? Because, how many times you're starting to rewind in the tape, how many games have we been short or so much and we get into an overtime situation? What are my chances of winning in overtime? I'm this close now, and all I got to do is get, beat him by one. That's what you're thinking.
We were on our backup kicker and our backup holder.
Yeah.
So, all those things come into account. So, we just
and you got 25 seconds to make a decision.
And we felt like, and so we felt like that was the right thing to do, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So we get in a situation where we've got to kick it onside.
You got 25 seconds now to make a new decision based on the cards that have been dealt.
Well, we didn't have a choice then. It didn't take 25 seconds to make that decision. We had to kick it onside kick.
Yeah, we knew that too.
So, and we just, we got lucky. It wasn't a conventional onside kick.
Kick it 10 more times like that, probably 9 times they get it.
It went. The kid didn't, let it go or couldn't handle it, and Caleb Benbury did a great job of getting down the sideline and making sure that we got the ball and probably won the game for us. So we got it back and then scored a couple plays later. The rest is history, I guess. But
well, it's been a game that's kind of gone back and forth between the two schools here a little bit since Rockvale opened in 2019, and but a great game that's developing into a sweet rivalry between the two schools.
It is that, and it's become a pretty big, and a lot of that is that the kids that go to school here started over here. Came from there, came from Riverdale, and so all those kids know each other, and it's just between us and Blackman and us and Riverdale, it's us three are really we're really all rivals because all our kids
intertwined.
Yeah, all our kids know each other. They grew up together. They they hang out together. They date the same girls or whatever whatever. But it was an emotional, personal game for some of our kids.
Oh yeah, and. A game that you want, it'll be another year before you can get that taste out of your mouth. Regardless of what happens, you've got to wait 365 days for the opportunity to come again. And give a lot of credit to Blackman. They played their guts out. I mean, it was both back and forth. There wasn't a kid slacking or not trying or anything. I mean, it was. I'm sure if you were down on the field, we were talking before we started the show. I mean, there was some magnificent hits that were made, which is what Friday night was all about. And
it was a very physical game.
Yep.
There was 22 kids on the field giving 100% every play, and Matt had his guys ready, and they did a great job. They ran to the ball really well on defense. So
they gave your quarterback some trouble. I mean,
yeah.
he couldn't do what he wanted to do, and at times had to really work to finally get into a position where he could cut that thing loose and get it to a guy that can go and get some yak yardage or whatever.
Yeah, he did.
So now that puts you in a position now, you want to lock up, you want to get where you want to go, and one more, and you're only guaranteed one more. You're probably more than likely in the playoffs. A lot of kooky things have to happen for you to be kicked out. I don't think there's any way you can, but anyway, you're now working towards. You kind of look at it as you got beat by Oakland, you got beat by Riverdale, so the best you can do is third. I mean, we're not mathematicians there.
That's right.
So, you're playing to possibly find somebody in that this win this next Friday night. You're looking for somebody over in the other bracket you can you match up well with. And of course, the better the seed, the lower the frame, and so on and so forth. So isn't that what you're looking for, a 3-3 there?
Yeah, I mean, we think that Mount Juliet's probably going to be the 1 seed over there, which if you're fourth, that's probably who you're going to play. The 2nd seed, I think, is up for grabs between 3 or 4 teams.
Yeah.
So we don't know who that'll be. So if we're third, we'll play their second. But the biggest thing is we want to go 1-0 this week, just like we've done every game all year long. So we're not really worried about that. We feel pretty good about being in and having postseason play. We just want to go 1-0 this week and take care of Siegel. I mean, they're a really good football team.
Yes.
They've done some really good things. They've gotten better all year long.
And what they want to do is they want to hang one on you here towards the end.
Yes.
Bottom line.
And they're fighting for their life.
Yeah.
I think if they beat us, then they're in. I think if they lose to us, I think they're out. So and Blackman's in. So I don't know, but they're very well coached. Adam does it. Coach Renshaw and Coach Smith and those guys do a great job over there, and they're going to be well coached. They're going to be disciplined and be where they're supposed to be, and we've got to be on our P's and Q's, and we've got to do things the right way and not make mistakes and play 4 quarters to win that game.
Well, and you kind of understand the situation they're in. They lost their gun quarterback, Santel, and this time last year, and you were in the same position. It's not something that you draw up in a book. It just happens because it's high school football. Kids get hurt, and that's just it's just part of the sport. But you've experienced the same thing that he's experiencing right now, and that is, my seconds, my two's now my 1, and my 3's now my 2, and so on and so forth. And if we get in this position, we're going to go this way, and try to plan, and so on and so forth. It's going to be a big Friday night here at the Launch Pad Friday. It's going to be
senior night. It'll be emotional. I mean, this senior group's really special to me. They're a great group. We got a lot of kids are real close, and they're real close to our coach staff. And, I want them to win. I want to win for them.
Yeah.
And so, it's going to be an emotional night, and I think they're going. I think we'll be ready, and I think our kids will play hard, which we do every week. I think, but
you shouldn't have to. It's week 10.
Yeah,
it's like the game 10.
Yeah,
you don't have to really tell them. It's time to go, boys.
It's this time of year. Everybody's tired. Coaches are tired. Kids are tired. But
there's a certain
nobody
hunger.
wants to be done.
No, there's a certain hunger and a certain drive and a certain no different than. Played a lot of basketball growing up, and when it gets to March, when it gets the end of February, and you're playing hot, you're ready to hit district and then hit region and hopefully get into the state if you can get there. But anything you'd like to say to the faculty, staff, administration, other than they're great people? I mean, support you. Steve's one of the best.
They don't get better than ours.
No, they're good people.
They don't. Coach Mr. Luker's phenomenal. He gets football and understands sports and how important it is to academics.
And school spirit. Supporting your schools, supporting your team.
Miss Wright, our assistant principal, has done a great job of getting our student section and they work in correlation with the band. It's a great atmosphere out here. It was great the other night. Really excited every Friday night. It's just a great atmosphere. Kerry Malone's our announcer, and he does an awesome job. Unbelievable. So it's a fun place to play football at Rockville.
Well, you're developing a program. That's what you got to do. You got to have a tradition, a program, and a place to say this is who we are. No matter what happens, you come out here to the launch pad. This is what you're going to get. This is who we are. From our faculty, staff, administration of Stark Vision, Dean Fox, Anthony Fiorella, Judy the Beauty.
I've never heard you say Dean Fox without saying Dean Fox, the Fox at Rocks. That's the first time I've ever heard you just say his name.
And my brother Sam and all of us, we thank you and we appreciate you letting me and our staff come out here, and we have a big time, and appreciate you being on Inside the Headset.
We we appreciate what y'all do for high school football, especially Rutherford County, and it's huge. You get kids get exposure, and it's a great thing that y'all do.
Oh, we get excited. We have a big time, and we make a mistake every once in a while, but we cut up and we keep going at it. And it's funny. I can say this now, but we went down to Helena, and we decided to let a kid that knew kind of the kids and everything. He called play-by-play before, and so we kind of let him decide that we would let him run the play-by-play, and I'd run third leg, and I'd let Anthony run color, and Judy was going to run camera. So we shot a 4-man shot down there. But anyway, right before we got on, I said, I don't care what you do. And I don't care if you mess up on a name or whatever, but you work like the dickens to get the guy who carried the ball and the guy who tackled. After that, I don't really care what happens. If you can't do that in the first half, I will kick you off this broadcast, and I will take over at halftime. He did wonderful. But he knew that, and a lot of people don't understand, but that's what we're really trying to do, because youth football, that's where I cut my teeth in '98, and you sit there all day, and I'd call 8 games, and I would know that, there's kids on a single seed football team that when they make a tackle, they want their name said across the public address system, and it's the start right there. And if you do it right there, and so I've always kind of just stuck. I don't care whatever else happens. Let's try to get the play, and then from there, I don't care what we talk about. Fiorella can talk about coming across the face and smashing this guy and all. He can do all that, but just let's get the.
Well, it's great too, because my family has moved to Georgia in the past 6 or 7 years, and so they live down there. So, but my nephew, my sister, my mom, they all called me after the game, texted me after the game. Man, it was a great game to watch. But they were able to watch it because of Stork Vision. So that's an awesome deal.
Yeah, well, awesome. It's stories like that. Mm-hmm. That keep us doing what we do. We hear all the time. I'll be in Lowe's here in town or somewhere or doing something. Someone say, man, I've heard your voice ever since I was a kid on Saturday mornings at Smyrna, and then you came and you called our games, and just stuff like that. You filmed me in high school, and do you have any more of these videos?
Right.
I'm like, I've shared just about everything I've got. There's some stuff I still need to get out there, but other than that, 23 years of doing it, there's a lot of good games in there, a lot of good games. We were talking about that game that happened over at Riverdale that poured through 2009, the big in the Mud Bowl. We were talking about that game the other night. Kids, we're going to get out of here Friday night right here. It'll be game 10. It'll be senior night. Get out here early. Food is magnificent. Atmosphere is spectacular. And you'll see a great game between the Single Stars and the Rockville Rockets.